simplicity, joyful, and intentional living. If this is your first time here, my name is Helen. I am a Master KonMari consultant and trained professional organizer. Today, I want to share some of my top thrifting tips with you to help you curate a high quality wardrobe. I only started thrifting about a year ago. Mostly it was because I am doing a low buy year this year. And if you're interested in finding out more about it, I will link that video above. And part of my rules is that if I want to buy something, I will have to try to buy it secondhand first. And over the last year, I ended up finding some really high quality pieces and have essentially upgraded my wardrobe, so to speak. And I was really surprised about it. And whenever I post about it on my Instagram, or if I was talking about it with my family and friends, I would get a ton of questions about it. So I know this is something that a lot of people are interested in, but maybe they feel too intimidated or they have no idea where to start. So I thought it would be fun to do this video where I compile a list of my top tips, and I'll have some examples to show you like with things that I have thrifted over the last few months. And so without further ado, let's get started. My first tip for you is to scan the section. So this tip is especially applicable to those of you that maybe want to thrift but you don't have a lot of time. Although I do want to say that I don't really recommend thrifting if you don't have a lot of time, because this is a game of patience as well. And if you are rushing, you might not be able to really enjoy the experience, and you might just get frustrated and give up. However, if you have a little bit of time to kill, let's say you're driving by a thrift store and you have some time to just pop in and check things out, you can definitely start by scanning the section to see what is there. Okay, so this is something that I found doing exactly that. I was driving by a thrift shop. I just popped in and I saw this bag just hanging there. And so it's a Marc Jacobs laptop bag, and it's honestly in like pretty much like brand new condition. I cannot see any sign of use or wear in it. And it's a great bag. It has like 2 compartments and it has a strap, and I actually like this one so much I ended up consigning the other Marc Jacobs laptop bag that I had from before. So this was $14, and I couldn't find the exact same ones on the Marc Jacobs website, but I did find some comparable ones, and they were 215 Canadian dollars. Another item I found is this Equipment silk blouse. So this is actually a complete fluke. I was just walking by a rack and this print jumped out at me. I immediately recognized it because this is actually something that I've been wanting for a while, and I just never quite pulled the trigger on it because they retail for about like $350 Canadian, and I just don't want to spend a couple $100s on a shirt. So this one was actually $7, and it's in great condition. There's no stains, no rips whatsoever. It's actually in excellent condition. My second tip is the opposite of my first tip, and that is to look at every single item. Thrift stores like Goodwill and Value Village typically have a lot of products, a lot of items, and the items are very crammed together. So I know it's hard to look at every single item, and that's why sometimes scanning works. However, because items are so crammed together, sometimes hangers might get pushed to the back, or things might just get kind of lost in the shuffle. You just might not see it, and that's why looking at every single item sometimes can help you find some gems. And that is exactly how I found this bash dress. So I was at a Value Village with my friend, and we had gone through probably 7 or 8 racks of dresses, and my friend actually gave up at this point, and I just thought, you know, I never look at dresses. I really want to just make sure I look at every single item. So I continued looking, and this was at the very end of a rack, like 3rd item from the end of the rack, and it was all bunched up like this. So you couldn't really see what it was, but then when I was attracted to this material, I thought this was just the prettiest fabric. It's black and it has gold metallic threads, and I think it's like a floral print. I'm not really sure, but I just love this fabric. And then I was really surprised that it was from Bash, which is very interesting because I was just on the Bash website that week, and I remember I was looking at some items and I was looking at very similar dresses, and they're very expensive. So it was just not within my low buy budget. And then I was really surprised to find this at Value Village. And actually the tag was even on it. So it was in brand new condition. So this was $18 at Value Village. and I ended up finding this exact dress on the Bash website when I got home, and it had retailed for $680. My third tip is to focus on quality and not quantity. A lot of people associate the brand name of an item with quality, but that is not always the best indicator because there might be offshoot brands, sub-brands, and also sometimes we just don't know all the different brands out there. I think a better way to determine quality would be to look at the material, like what the item is made of, looking at the construction and the finishing touches. By focusing on quality, it has really helped me curate a high quality wardrobe because I am not buying a ton of items. Ever since I started thrifting, I realized how much I actually enjoy wearing materials like silk and cashmere, so I am super grateful to be able to find those items at such great prices. And so now that I have a couple of silk and cashmere items, I do find it's much easier for me to identify and see them in the store. So you should definitely get familiar with the materials you like, because then you'll be able to spot it more easily, even by like just looking at an item or by feel. The silk blouse that I'm wearing is an example of that. I remember I was going through a whole rack of items and I saw this one. I really liked it. I liked the touch and feel of it. I thought it might be silk, and I confirmed it by checking the fabric content tag. So this blouse was $8 and I picked it up not knowing what brand it was, but later I was able to find out that it's from Thrift, which is a brand that I really like as well. And so that's another tip for you. If you have an item that you don't have the brand label for, you can find out what brand it is by Googling the CA or RN number. So CA number is for Canada, RN number is for the US, and those number indicates which manufacturer or which company manufactured this item. And so that's what I did. I googled the number and I found out this shirt is actually from the brand Theory, and this shirt used to retail for $275 US. And this cashmere sweater is a similar story. So I was going through a rack of sweaters and this one just immediately felt like cashmere to me, and so I love cashmere. So I checked the fabric content label and yep, it was cashmere, and I really liked the design of this shirt. And even though if you look at the label, I couldn't really tell the brand, I couldn't read it at all. And then that's what I did again when I got home. So I googled the RN number and I found out this cashmere sweater is from a brand called Raquel Allegra, which is not a brand that I'm familiar with, but it is a luxury brand based in California. And when I looked on their website, their cashmere sweaters typically retail between $600 and $800. And that's another thing I love about thrifting, is that I get to learn about different brands out there. And so that is really fun for me. My fourth tip is to check all the different sizes. Some of my favorite items that I found were in the wrong section because they didn't have their corresponding North American size on the tag. For example, the Bash dress I showed you earlier, it says a size 2, and so it was put into the extra small section. However, a French 2, sometimes they might do like 1, 2, 3 for small, medium, large, so 2 is really a medium. And I found this silk blouse on the extra large rack because it had said it was size 14, and so this is a brand I've never heard of. It's called Max and it's from Auckland, and so their size 14 correspond to an American 10. However, that's another thing about international sizes. The numbers and the conversion isn't always accurate because this says it's a 14, which should be a 10, but I would say it fits much smaller than that because it fits me perfectly. And when I was a size 10, I don't think this would have fit me. So don't get too hung up on the number on the sizing tag because some brands just fits really large and some fits really small. So I am used to having all sizes in my wardrobe. That Raquel Allegra sweater I showed you earlier, that's actually a size 0, which corresponds to their extra small, and even on me it's oversized. So you just never know. And here's another example. So this Isabelle Marant Etoile, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So this is like a jacket, and I think this is like a wool or tweed material. And so this was a size 40, which when I saw on the rack, I knew immediately that it was my size, whereas I wouldn't have known if that's my size if I didn't know about international sizing. And so this item was $18 at Value Village, and I'm pretty sure a comparable one at retail stores would be probably like at least $500 or $600. So I'm really happy to have this in my wardrobe. My last tip is to look at new items and also look at the items that other people have tried on but maybe just like left behind. I notice every time I go thrifting, I always see people adding more stock to the floor throughout my trip, no matter what time of the day that I go or which day of the week. So I know that that's something that's happening constantly throughout the day. They're just adding more things to the store. What I notice is the employees will usually bring out a whole rack of new items, and then they will put items to their corresponding sections, and then once they're done, they'll bring out another rack. So if you see a rack, it's okay to look through it. I've never gotten into trouble for flipping through the racks. However, just be really respectful and don't mess up their pile. I try to like not even disturb anything. I just like look at it from the side, and I just don't want to make more work for other people. And that is how I spotted this item, which is a shawl. It's like a wool shawl, and I spotted this material right away because, well, first of all, I love polka dots, and I also really like navy and gray or navy with black, so I was immediately attracted to this pattern. I was like, I have no idea what this is, but I really like the pattern, and I think it's a scarf. And so when I came home, I Googled this brand. And so this is from a brand called Engineer Garments, which I think is based out in New York by a Japanese designer. And I think it's mostly a menswear line. So this is something that was put into the women's wear section, and that's how I found it, and I love it. I actually have been wearing this a lot, and I just absolutely love this item. And so I'm so happy to have found this because I don't think I would have normally find something like this in the retail setting, especially if it's in the men's section. So this was $10, and I see lots of other Engineer Garments shawls on the internet for about $200, and yeah, I'm just really happy to have this. Once again, this is another brand I'm just not familiar with, so I'm super happy with this item because I actually have been wearing this almost every single day. I just absolutely love this thing. It's so versatile. Aside from the new items, you also want to check wherever people are trying on items and maybe they're leaving items behind. So right now in my city, most of the change rooms are closed. However, people are still trying on items in front of mirrors. So definitely check around like mirrors, especially if they're all in one area. Or I know like once the change rooms are open, you can definitely go to the change rooms and see if there's any items people left behind, because those are items that somebody thought maybe were great and then maybe just didn't fit them. So definitely check those areas as well. So those are my 5 tips to help you curate a high quality wardrobe. I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoy thrifting. I mentioned 8 items today in my examples, and the total cost for everything is $92.33, and the total retail value of everything is easily over $3,000. So I definitely think thrifting is a great way to shop sustainably and also to help you create a high quality wardrobe without spending a lot of money. Because of the low prices, I know it's really easy to go overboard, and that's why you want to be really selective and just be really intentional even when you're thrifting, because I think it's definitely more of a waste if you buy something and you don't end up wearing it than if it can just go to a person that would love and wear that item. If you enjoyed today's video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I would love to keep this conversation going. So I would love for you to comment below and let me know if you currently thrift or this is something that you would like to get into, or I would love for you to share your favorite thrift finds in the comments below. And until next time, choose joy, live well.